I'd like to call this meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville to order. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Alderman Vaughn, and then a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our God and our Father, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the God that is able to do all things but fail, the God that sit high and look low. Heaven is thy seat, earth is thy footstool. Father God, again, you allowed your servants to come before you. Again, Father, after you allowed your angels to watch over us all day long, protecting us from all hurt, harm, and danger. And thank you so much for your Holy Spirit that guided us back to this place. We just want to say thank you. We ask you that you will please forgive us of our sins. Most of all, Father God, you will bless us as we enter into another experience, Father God, handling these affairs of this city. We thank you for what all you allowed us to achieve and all you allowed us to accomplish in our day in and day out duties, being the mayor and vice mayor and the board of aldermen and alderman-woman. We thank you. We thank you for your protection that you keep around us. Now we ask you again, Father God, that you take us into another experience, that every decision that we make, Father God, it will glorify you. Lord, we just thank you so much that we will be so concerned about our citizens, most of all, every taxpayer in this community. Father God, we love you. We love you because you first loved us. Most of all, we love you, Father God, because your ways is not our ways, and your thoughts are not ours. They are far from to the east. You said you won't put no more than we can bear. So, Lord, I know that we can handle these affairs, and we can handle them in a Christ-like way. We just thank you so much for being that great God, a God that said you never leave us nor would you forsake us. We thank you so much for being our God and we your servant, being our Father and we your little children. We thank you for controlling our destiny, not leaving us in the hand of no man. Father, because you said you made us in your image, your likeness, and you made us just a little bit lower than angels. We thank you for it. Now we ask you that you will fill this place with your Holy Spirit, that our eyes and our heart will stay directed on you and what we have before us on this agenda, that it will be done decent and in order. You said in your words, whatever you do, do it decent and in order. And we will be careful to give you all the praise and all the glory. Jesus, we love you for being who you are and where you are. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Alderman Vaughn. We've been calling on you a lot lately, so appreciate you doing that. All right, we have now the approval of the official agenda with consented items. Do we have any changes or modifications to the agenda? Anyone wishing to make any changes or modifications to the agenda? Alderman Walker.
Mayor, I'd like to add item 11B, 2B to consent, and that would be with the modified and recommended by the Starkville Tree Advisory Board as in the packet.
Okay, item 11B, 2B. Does anyone have any concerns or any desire not to do that? Okay, and that is with conditions. So seeing none, we'll add that one to the consent agenda. All right, any other changes or modifications?
Mayor, I would like to add 11D1 under engineering to consent.
Okay. Any concerns about adding that to consent? 11D1. All right, seeing none, we'll add that one to consent. We are also going to need to, and I forgot, I'm sorry, Alderman Walker, anything further?
That's it.
Okay. I forgot, we need to pull under 11B2A, we need to pull that one from the agenda. We are going to have to send that one back to Board of Adjustments and Appeals. There were some incorrect criteria that were used to make that decision, and so we're just going to send it back to them immediately for a reconsideration. So that one will be pulled from the agenda. Anything else from anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, I need a motion for approval of the official agenda with the consented items as modified. I have a motion from Alderman Little. Do I have a second? Second from Alderman Sistrunk. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Let me take a moment to read the consented agenda items. First is consideration of the minutes of the December 18th, 2018 recess meeting of the mayor and the Board of Aldermen of the city of Starkville, Mississippi. Then is under board business, we have consideration of approving the appointment of P.C. McLaurin to serve on the Golden Triangle Solid Waste Authority Board for the term commencing January 1, 2019 until December 31, 2022. We have under community development item, under planning, item 2B, consideration of LW 19-01, a request for landscape waiver from section 5 and 6 for the new power stroke located at 310 Industrial Park Road in an M1 zoning district with a parcel number 102L-00-009.00 with the conditions. C is consideration of sending Keep Starkville Beautiful Executive Director Amy Counterman to travel to Keep America Beautiful's 2019 National Conference to accept the Bill Nash Award on behalf of Keep Starkville Beautiful. Under engineering, we have item 1, which is consideration of approval for the mayor to sign an engineering services contract with Garver Engineering for the Highway 12 Sidewalks project and authorization to proceed with the surveying, planning, and design. Under 2, consideration of accepting the $588,000 in Federal Transportation Alternatives Program TAP funds, which requires a 20% match to construct a multi-use path from the intersection of Highway 12 and Spring Street to the Mississippi State University Amphitheater, and authorizing the mayor to activate the project, execute a preliminary engineering contract along with any necessary MDOT-related paperwork, and an MOU with MSU and Oktibbeha County. 3 is consideration of declaring Street Department 1999 Ford F-350 VIN 1FTSW30S2XED83673 pickup truck as surplus and to auction on Gov Deals, and authorization to purchase a vehicle replacement from state contract at a cost of $26,596. Under Finance and Administration, item 2 is request acceptance of the December 2018 financial statements. Under the Fire Department, we have consideration of a lease agreement with U.S. Bancorp Governmental Leasing in the amount of $1,462,910 over 12 years at a 3.48% interest for the lease purchase of a fire truck. Under Human Resources, item 1, we have request authorization to hire Brianna Calvert as a part-time receptionist in the Starkville Parks and Recreation Department. 2 is request authorization to extend Halbert Blair to work in the Street Department for another 120 days as a full-time temporary seasonal employee maintenance worker. And number 3 is request authorization to advertise for a digital media communications specialist intern for the city of Starkville. Under Parks, we have consideration of approval of concessions agreement with Fred Tate. The sole RFP received in the amount of $1,000. In the Police Department, we have request consideration of a ThyssenKrupp Corporation agreement for elevator maintenance at the Starkville Police Department for 60 months at $325.21 per month. Then we have a request authorization for Officer Angelica Colbert to attend a DARE class January 28th through February 8th in Louisville, Mississippi at a cost of $1,499. In the Utilities Department, we have number 1, request authorization to advertise for bids for the South Montgomery Street at Academy Drive traffic signal renovations. Number 2 is request approval of the lowest and best quote from Custer Water in the amount of $6,600 for the labor to replace the failed filter and bar screen at the wastewater plant. 3 is request approval of the lowest and best quote from Custer's Water Manufacturer in the amount of $18,826 for the material to replace the failed filter and bar screen at the wastewater plant. And last but not least, number 4 is request approval of the lowest and best quote from GNC Supply in the amount of $15,701.89 for the purchase of a water tap machine for the water division of the Starkville Utilities. And that concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor.
My pleasure.
Mayor, may I make one observation?
Vice Mayor, certainly.
Yeah, Mayor, will you tell the gentleman, the former gentleman from 3 who served on the board from 01 to 9, that we certainly appreciate his continuous service. He's always served with honor and distinction, so I say he's always have a great interest in wanting to continue to serve the city of Starkville. I really enjoyed working with him when he was on the board, so he does a very, very honorable job, and he's just a very, very scholarly person. So we just appreciate his continuous service.
Absolutely, of course we will.
Okay, thank you.
He has been doing very well for us in this particular role for quite a number of years.
Oh, he has. Thank you.
Thank you. And I am going to elaborate a little bit on a couple of these things, because when I read a consent agenda, it doesn't necessarily give you some of that background. And so just to make sure that that everyone knows what we're talking about, in this Keep Starkville Beautiful, the city of Starkville put in for an award, which we received, and it's a national award, which was the Bill Nash Award for our efforts at beautification of the city of Starkville. And we are sort of newcomers to this, and so I think what we won is basically a newcomer's award. But anyway, I think it's really nice, and it's a national recognition, so I think we can all be pleased and proud of that. The other item that I wanted to highlight is under the item 2 under engineering is the acceptance of the $588,000. This is monies that were provided to us through the Mississippi Department of Transportation, which allows us to continue to add sidewalks and interconnectivity between the county, the city, and the university. This will go down from Spring Street in front of the Hampton Inn down into the university and connect what we've already got going along Spring Street and Blackjack to enhance our ability to improve quality of life and allow pedestrian access into the university. And I think that's a really great thing. And one of the things that Commissioner Taggart, who's been a real friend to the city of Starkville and to this area, unfortunately he's not going to run again for re-election, but during his time of service to us, he has given greatly, and we have everything that MDOT pretty much touches in the city of Starkville has been improved, and we greatly appreciate his service on our behalf, and this is another example of that. So that was one item, and then the other item I wanted to highlight is our contract to move forward with adding sidewalks along Highway 12. Again, these were some MDOT monies that we are going to get to use to add sidewalks to Highway 12, and part of the way we're going to make that determination is see where people are traveling now and where people have worn paths by walking from one location to another on Highway 12. So I think we will have an opportunity to really make a difference, and this summer you will see that extension of sidewalks that will improve the people's ability to get to and from and around the area that is the Highway 12 corridor. So I just wanted to highlight those items so that there would be some understanding from those of you who are in the audience as well as those who are watching on our live stream of what we were talking about. So now that takes us to essentially announcements and comments. And the good news is I get employee introductions. The bad news is I never got any information on all those employees that I should be introducing. And normally I have this nice little thing that says where they're from and where they went to school, and I don't have that. Does anybody? Nav, you don't perhaps have that somewhere, do you? Okay. All right. Well, I tell you what. Can we put that to a little later in the program? And Lisa's, I think, can pull that up, and we'll see if we can't get that, and I can make those announcements a little later on. We promise we won't keep you too long. I know y'all are here for being introduced, and we'll make it as quick as possible. So let us go through something else real quick, and then we'll get to that. Okay. Do we have any Board of Aldermen comments?
I'd say in the note that you had just spoken to Commissioner Taggart. I just want to publicly thank Commissioner Mike Taggart. Anytime that you have a highway commissioner living within your town, it's a great asset to the community. But I would like to publicly in the future, maybe we have a proclamation or something toward the end of his tenure. But he is, anytime you see his signatures in our packet, it's a good thing. We had several tonight, and he has been a wonderful commissioner for this area, North Third of Mississippi. And not only that, but specifically Starkville. So I want to publicly thank Commissioner Taggart.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And I think at every opportunity, though he has taken a lot of hits for the Highway 12 changes,
sure.
They are obviously safety driven, and I think we've all benefited by them. So thank you for saying that. Anyone else? Alderman Vaughn.
Well, thank the mayor and the board and for approving us to go to the Midwinter Conference. I always try to enter something that I enjoy. Dave and I was in a section together where it's generation difference. And everyone wants to be valued. And we were mostly talking about the baby boom, which most of us, got a few of here, and generation X, Y, and Z. We did a lot of discussion on them, and it made me look at social media different because I be on my grandchildren. They get up, they lay down, they up, they lay down, they up, they got this stuff in their head. It made me look at it a lot different. Tell me and show me what you're looking at and what you're looking for. And most of our entrepreneurship will be coming from X, Y, and Z. So in the future, most of the people be working from home. They won't be on no job. They'll be at home, working from the internet. And so I thought that was great to see and to entertain them. You know, very rewarding to sit there and listen at that. For what, I mean, we're there, David. We're there from 1 to 4. But it was very exciting, very rewarding, and I look at it a whole lot different now. And Mr. Clement, I'll be spending some time with you. Yes, sir.
Good. Well, you now appreciate our Facebook streaming, do you?
Yeah. I appreciate a lot of things. And one thing we got to realize and don't forget, we're living in their time now. It's their time. When we fuss about how they do things, but we're living in their time. Only thing we got to do, adopt their time and live.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure that the entrepreneurs, those are the folks we're trying to keep in town, and so that's a good way to keep them there is to acknowledge them and understand where they're coming from. So thank you for that. All right. Any other? I've got my acknowledgments here, my introductions here. So if there's no other board comments, I will move back to that, and we will do that so you guys can get out and maybe go watch that basketball game. Push them on. Okay, my introductions will be to new employees. So first we have Joe Dan Baker. He's a field maintenance worker with Starkville Park and Rec. Mr. Baker is from Starkville and is a graduate of Starkville High School. He's a Yellow Jacket, okay? He is also a graduate of Mississippi State University where he earned his degree in interdisciplinary studies. Before joining the city of Starkville, Joe Dan was the manager for Rick's Cafe.
There you go.
All right, that's great, yes. Joe Dan and his wife Beth are the proud parents of a son, Porter. During his free time, Joe Dan enjoys attending Mississippi State sporting events and being outdoors. He and his family attend First United Methodist Church. Welcome. Thank you. Rick's loss is our gain.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much.
I'll do my best.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Alex Estes, driver for the Sanitation and Environmental Services Department. Alex is from Ackerman, Mississippi, and is a graduate of Ackerman High School. Previously, Alex worked for Martin Transport as an OTR driver. Was that over the road?
Yes.
OTR driver. Okay, great. Alex and his wife are the parents of 2 daughters, Ashlyn and Madeline. When his time permits, Alex enjoys working out, working on cars, hunting, fishing, and watching football. He and his family attend Rockport United Methodist Church. Welcome. And next we have Martin Hall, who's firefighter with Starkville Fire Department.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
I have one more.
Did you have another one? I'm sorry, Cal.
Yes.
Okay, it was on the back. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, let me drop on down here. Jacoby Mobley. All right, Mr. Mobley, I didn't mean to forget you. I'm sorry, you were on the back of my sheet here. He's from Starkville and also attended Starkville High School, another Yellow Jacket for us. He is a graduate of the University of Tennessee Martin, where he earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Before joining the city of Starkville, Jacoby worked as a stocker for Kroger and played basketball overseas. During his spare time, Jacoby enjoys spending time with his family, playing basketball and photography, and attends Bethel Baptist Church. And I have to ask, where did you play overseas?
The Republican of Georgia.
Republic of Georgia. All right. Well, congratulations on that and welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, what did you say that position was?
It's Sanitation Environmental Services Department. He's maintenance worker 1.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll go back to the firefighters. All right, Martin Hall, Mr. Hall. He's from Starkville, graduated from, Lelehui High School in Waihiwa, Hawaii. Close? Waihiwa, Hawaii. Okay. Chakara. All right. Martin worked at the Supersonic Car Wash as a car wash attendant before joining the city of Starkville. When Martin can find time, he enjoys playing sports and running, as well as spending time with his children, Malia, Lamont, Tariq, Amori, and Amelia. He and his family attend Life Family Worship Center. Is all that correct, or did I turn the wrong page? I did good. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. And how long were you in Hawaii?
Total of 6 years.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
All
My
right.
was in the military there, so.
Oh, okay. Well, me too. So, and thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, and next we have Matthew Sherbach. I wasn't even close then. Okay. Mr. Sherbach is from Ypsilanti, Michigan, and is a graduate of Ypsilanti High School. He attended the University of Alaska Fairbanks. He worked as a roofer with A&A Roofing in Alaska before joining the city of Starkville. Matthew and his wife Courtney have 2 sons, Aiden, 4, and Nathan, 2. Matthew doesn't have a lot of spare time because he's in the process of building his own home. He and his family attend Manti Baptist Church. Welcome. Starkville's a little warmer than Alaska, isn't it?
No hesitation, Mayor.
Really? All right, and then we have one last but not least, Latoya Williams. Yes, no? There she is, okay. Radio operator and the records clerk for the Starkville Police Department. Ms. Williams is from Columbus, Mississippi, and graduated from Columbus High School. She attended Mississippi State University, where she studied criminology. She's returning to the city of Starkville as a radio operator after working for Mississippi Department of Child Protective Services. Latoya enjoys crafting and watching investigation discovery, as well as spending time with her daughter, Kaylee, and boyfriend, Ty Hawkins. She and her family attend Christian Baptist Church. Welcome. We appreciate you coming back here. Oh, I do have one. I'm sorry. This back and forth is throwing me. Nav, all on the same side of the page, please. Yes, all right. Eileen Hill. Last but not least, Eileen, I'm so sorry. Executive Administrative Assistant for Starkville Utilities. She was originally from North Carolina and graduated from Smoky Mountain High School in Sylva, North Carolina. Eileen attended Western Carolina University, where she majored in communication with a focus in public relations, political science. Eileen previously worked for Curio as their operations coordinator. Eileen and her husband Dante are the proud parents of one son, Camden. And when she has time, Eileen enjoys reading, going on runs, and has finished 10 half marathons. All right, you go, girl. Congratulations. Well, thank you, and welcome to Starkville.
She writes a lovely email.
Right, thank you. I'll put those in the record now that I've totally botched that up. All right, next we have citizens' comments. And if you are interested in speaking to the city or to the board, you have 3 minutes in which to do so. This does not necessarily mean that there will be interaction between the board and the comments, but it gives you the opportunity to give us your thoughts of what's going on. So please, if you would, come now and give your name and where you're from or where you live, please.
Good evening. My name is Avington Ward 7. To the mayor, to the police chief, and to the NACP out of Tippah County.
Thank you, Mr. Turner.
My slogan for this year would be hitting the ground running. At the last meeting, I brought some issues about our school bus and the people that violate the road rules. We had between Deerfield and Forest Creek, we had some people on Highway 25 trying to go around the school bus. On Highway 12, we had people running the stop sign. On Gary Road, we had people running the stop sign. People also have brought to my attention about on North Jackson Street, we have deals that pop up around late night hours, and maybe if you could put a sign that's saying that, deals, it'll help. Also on Reed Road, also have between Reed Place and Hospital, late night you have deals popping up. And I'm gonna leave after my comments because my brother's death is unfolding, and I promise to check in with my mom to let her know I'm doing okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. All right, anyone else wishing to make comments to the board?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board.
Yes, sir.
My name is John Tolliver, 26 Choctaw Road, Ward 6. On the January the 2nd, I was asked a question, and the numbers that were in my mind really wouldn't collaborate with the time that I had. But we've been out of our home 130 days now, and I think that's unprecedented as with anybody that have had the same situation that we've had. But we spent about $15,000 trying to live in two places and get other things done in the last almost 5 months. Our expenditures for moving, we've moved twice, and we're hoping to get a professional. No, we've moved 3 times, excuse me, and we're hoping to get some professional movers to get us back into our home. About $15,000 to clean up, and about 50, well, depending on what time, because the rates will change for materials when it gets warmer, but about $53,000 to $55,000 for material and labor. And actually, my daughters are in the 10th grade, and they were supposed to go, we were getting ready when this happened to get them to Orlando, Florida, because they're in the band at Starkville High. Go Yellow Jackets. But this took money away from that. Well, actually, it's taking money away from a lot of things. So I'm asking for our being displaced, I'm asking for $5,000 a piece for each one of us. That's not in concrete, but I'm asking that because we've really been misplaced bad. And this is to say to make us whole, but making us whole is really a misnomer because we walk through fecal matter, through human waste. We don't really know the long term of what's going to go on with our bodies or what we've inhaled. But I do thank you. I hope that the numbers that you've gotten will kind of let you know kind of where we are. And I know that the longer we're out of the house, the more cost it would be for us to be in 2 places and to pay bills there and to pay bills there and to continue to pay for storage and all of these things. All of these things are really the things that we're dealing with right now. And it won't stop tonight. So, board, mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pollard. Anyone else?
Mayor, Vice Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Turner?
fellow Alderman, Alderwoman. My name is Chris Taylor, Ward 7. MLK Day, which is Monday. It started out, doors open at 7:30, free breakfast at the meal. First come, first serve. Doors open at 7:30. The meal does not start till 8. The program started at 09. After the program, volunteer staffer and maroon volunteer expect people to volunteer to help around clean up this county, the city, the university, and the county. After that, we had an MLK March, which originally was listed for 1:30, but we're gonna move it back 15 minutes to 1:45 to let people who volunteered get there in time to make it to the march. This march been happening for going on 50 years now. And you never know where you come from, you never know where you're going. And just remind you of the past so you don't make those same mistakes again. Just remember that. Now, after that, we're going to have an unveiling. We turn it over to the Unity Park Committee. Ms. Marshallak, Ms. Johnson, Dr. Johnson, and that crew. That's where they will induct 2 names. This year is Ms. Adelaide and Mr. Wilson Ashford. And that would be immediately following. So we expect a great turnout, and don't be late. Come on out. But I do have one thing for the mayor and the board. The building on the corner of MLK and Douglas Corner. What's the status? That building will be knocked down because that's an eyesore on 182.
Mayor,
You
may I
don't want
respond?
to tell me anything about that?
May I respond, Mayor?
Vice Mayor?
2 things, Mr. Taylor. Number 1, as to the breakfast, the city of Starkville will be represented at the breakfast. And secondly, as to the building at the corner of Dale Connor and Highway 182 West, the city has exerted substantial efforts in trying to get that property cleared under the applicable statutes available to the city. But the city, at some point in the past, and the attorney has worked on it through board-approved action, has come across some bids that were not, economically feasible to move forward. So the city just has not been able to have the available funding, I believe, attorney, to just be able to move forward. The city has instructed, and Mayor, I don't mean to be speaking ahead of you here, but the city has instructed former staff in that Department of Community Development to exert efforts to move forward to obtain bids in terms of submitting to the board for our consideration to have that property. Bottom line is to demolish, and we could assert the cost of that as a lien, but the board just has had problems in terms of getting interested bidders on that property. So, but the city, Mr. Taylor, just in all candidness and transparency with you, has expressed a strong interest in wanting to get that location cleaned up, but we just have not been able to get the bidders, and it's just a very involved and a substantial cost in the past. So it has not been a lack of interest, because there's been a substantial interest in the past among board members, and the past staff through directives from the mayor and the board, and even the past administration has tried to get that cleaned up. It's in other words, in closing here, it's not because of a lack of interest on the city's part.
Okay, I just wondered, because it seems like we always finding stuff for 12.
Well, let me elaborate, if I may, just a bit. One of the things that we're trying to do was see if we could get a Tiger grant. We've applied for it twice, and now it's called something other than Tiger, but a Build grant, I think was the last name. And that was one of the areas that would have benefited from that. But bids that we got were so high that they were much higher than the value of the land at all. And there's so much that's required to make that area underneath there work, because it is a drain area, that the cost is just prohibitive at this point in time. But we're going to revisit that and see if we can't get more than one bidder who would be willing to do something with it. But the Vice Mayor is absolutely right. It is not from lack of interest, because we really would love to have that area cleaned up. I think we're seeing lots of things that are going to start happening on 182, and we want to make sure that we're ready to move with it when it's ready to go.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And also, before you go, I know that this entire board would say thank you for your service as the NAACP president for so many years. I know you've passed the torch to Ms. Haddix, but you served honorably and with distinction in that role for the city, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Anyone else wishing to speak to the board? Anyone else? All right. We'll close it as citizen comments. And we have no public appearances tonight, but we do have one public hearing. And let me make note that regarding this public hearing, this item for rezoning has been, and all associated requests with this parcel or these parcels have been withdrawn from the board's consideration. But because we advertised for this public hearing, we're going to go ahead and have this public hearing. So if there's anyone here who wishes to speak to the matter of the rezoning of 18-10, which is a request to rezone 3 parcels located on the north side of Canal Street from R3 to C2. You may come forward now if you wish to speak either for or against. Anyone wishing to speak to the rezoning of those parcels? Anyone? Seeing none, we will close it as a public hearing. I assume no board comments. All right, seeing none, we will move to, let's see. What do we have? We pull that. We have the claims docket, I believe, is the next thing up. And I have a motion from Alderman Walker. Did I hear that correctly? Oh, Alderman Carver. I'm sorry. All right, thank you. A motion from Alderman Carver, a second. Second from Alderman Little. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Vote of 5-2. Motion carries. Thank you. And that concludes our agenda. We are now going to, I have a motion to go into closed session for determination of a need to go into executive session. Do I have a second? Second. Second from Alderman Vaughn. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please clear the right, going into work session. Good Lord, man. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody's back in. The board determined not to go into executive session, and I will entertain a motion.
Miller has it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alderman Hill.
Mayor, Mr. Attorney, is it appropriate that I just read?
You can.
Mayor, I move that the board approve a 48-hour suspension for firefighter McKinney for violation of Fire Department Personnel Policy 3.500, failure to show as it relates to failure to show infractions. The requested actions are consistent with our handling, with the fire department's handling of past cases of this nature.
Okay, and that is for both items?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So we have a motion to uphold the chief's suspension. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Alderman Sistrunk. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and we will, let me make an announcement about work session. We will be having a work session on what would be February the 1st at noon for the next board meeting of the first meeting in February of the 5th. It will be held on the second floor. We will be inviting the press and the public to attend. If you would, please feel free to join us for that. It will be a work session that will include the agenda items. We will also be having a presentation on annexation, and I believe the retail strategies folks will either be in attendance at that one in addition to our board meeting of the 5th, or else they will come only on the 5th, and right now I'm not remembering that. So, but retail strategies will be also taken up at some point in time, so we can discuss that.
Noon or 1:15?
I'm sorry, I said noon, because we no longer have to worry about Mr. Walker, whose class is going to take him through that entire time frame. So I did say noon. Awesome. Is that good? Okay. So we will be holding that at noon. All right. We now have a motion to adjourn or to recess from anyone.
So moved.
Adjourn.
It is adjourned. I'm sorry. I'm losing time of the month. Motion from Alderman Sistrunk and a second from Alderman Miller. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. We are in adjournment now. Thank you, Vice Mayor.